it's not just in terms of like you wanting to actually reach those goals. Like you've been the same person and you're not reaching them. So clearly you need to change who you are to be the person to be in those shoes, to be that, to reach those goals. So that's why I think there's a little bit of nuance there as well.
Okay, let's go.
So yeah, this time we're going to do goals for 2023, or how to set goals, the right way to set goals, how we feel or how I feel or how we feel we should set goals.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Would you say this is like a better way to, like, I don't know. So have you, before we did it last year, had you like previously like actually set goals for yourself? And if so, like what kind of goals did you set? Because I'm sure it's much different than what we did.
I've definitely done it before, but I think I've done it in a way to where I'm like, you know, for example, like I want to pay off my student loans by this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it. Like I didn't create the mini goals on like how I'm going to get to that point. I was just like,
Which we'll get to.
Yeah. I was just like, in general, I just want to have it paid off by this time and then have no idea like what I'm doing to, but no, that was just an example. I mean, I guess I've done other goals on like, you know, for my job and stuff, but
Okay. Yeah, I would say that's like super typical, right? Like you talk about like getting a promotion, getting more money, paying something off.
Yeah,
Those are
and just
real
kind of waiting
typical.
for it to happen rather than being. I just feel like setting the goal for paying off my loan and then just being like, yeah, you know, I'll just keep making payments and I'll get there, rather than being like, okay, well, how am I going to get extra money, or what? How am I going to change up my spending habits to get there? So like, it was just setting a goal and just expecting it to happen, and for me to get there without really having a plan on how to get there. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's definitely like one of the biggest part about setting goals is like actually what most people would say is reverse engineer it, which basically you start at the end and then you work your way backwards with like actionable steps. It's not just that. So it's very typical. Like what I would say most people, like the general population of people that set goals, it's usually like I don't want to say a materialistic thing, but it's like a superficial, like a financial, superficial thing. Like I want to make more money. I want to get a promotion. I want to pay something off. A big one's like I want to lose weight. Any of those things. It's not just in terms of like you wanting to actually reach those goals. Like you've been the same person and you're not reaching them. So clearly you need to change who you are to be the person to be in those shoes, to be that, to reach those goals. So that's why I think there's a little bit of nuance there as well. And we had to write them down today because it's kind of intricate, but not really. It's kind of cool. But it really comes down to 3 questions, and there's categories to each question. And we actually did this. We did this last year. We went outside on a sunny day, put some music on, our favorite music, and we wrote down. So you ask the question, you write down a bunch of stuff for those particular topics. And then from there, you set goals off of what you wrote down. Is that what we did?
Yeah.
I think that's what we did, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go first for the first one? Can you read that? Oh no.
So experiences. What do I want from life? So what do I want from life in my relationship?
No. Okay. I just meant like go
we
through
did
them.
not
Like,
go over this.
So yeah, we're just winging it. So I would say like the question is, what do I want from life? What do you want from life in terms of your relationships, your friends, your finances, and your overall quality of life?
Okay. Well, why don't you go first then?
Well, we're not going to go through them. I just think like this was just like a general talk on how to
Okay.
set goals, like a better way to set goals, because it took us hours out
That's
there
true. That's
writing
true.
these down. So we're definitely not going to go through
Okay.
ours. But yeah, I just kind of wanted this to be like a like a stepping stone, or like, oh, I can't think of the word, like a better plan for how to set goals, rather than just people at the
Okay.
beginning of the year is like, I want to do this, this, and this, but this is more in depth and I think a better way.
Mhm.
And it's crazy. People, there was like, I believe there was a study done that surveyed a bunch of people, and they asked them if they spend more time planning vacations or like actually setting goals in their life. And it was like way more people plan vacations than they do the way that they're going to live the rest of their life, which is insane.
I mean, I can understand
Of
that. though.
course. But that kind of is what separates
Yeah.
like the wealthy and the successful from just the average Joe, right? Like these people are spending a ton of time researching where they want to go in Cabo or wherever, rather than somebody else who's like, I
if they
need
put
to
that same energy
into like
their-
who do I need to be
Yeah.
to be like the best version of myself, which can then propel me in any way that I want in life, in terms of like finances, in terms of relationships, of whatever that we're going to go through. But yeah,
and still go to Cabo.
and then buy Cabo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, you want to get the next one then?
Okay, so growth. How do I want to grow? And the subcategories are in health and fitness, knowledge, emotional, and spiritual.
So that doesn't mean religious.
Yeah.
I see spirituality is really more of like an inner thing. So I would say spirituality comes from like meditating, going over your day for how you are as a person,
Mm-hmm.
what you could have done better to be a better person. I think that kind of falls under the category of spirituality.
Okay.
But yeah.
Or
so-
I'm assuming if you are religious, it can also go that way.
Absolutely.
As well.
Absolutely. If you want to be more in touch with your religion or
Mhm.
follow whatever religion you want more closely,
Mhm.
and try to adhere to those standards, yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Mhm.
So yeah, the second one is about growth. So it's growth as a person. So you want to do, how do I want to grow in my health and my fitness,
And the gains.
in the gains? Want to be jacked for the new year? I'm going to Cabo. Gotta have a six pack for Cabo. Yeah, grow in your knowledge, which I mean, there's a ton of books you can see. I'm always reading.
He has read none of them.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I've
Like
read
two.
a lot of them. Emotionally, which I think is probably the most difficult for most people.
Oh.
No, not like I didn't mean that
Oh.
at you. But yeah, like that's super tough for a lot of people to be more open with their emotions and talk to people.
I just
And
have a lot
spiritual.
of feelings.
Is that Mean Girls?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to
Okay.
bake a cake with rainbows and smiles.
Exactly. And then I think the last one is one that everybody, like, well, not everybody, but the vast majority of people
Mhm.
do not ever consider. Would you say so? I would think the last one is something that most people never consider, which is like contribution.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to be rich, right?
Mhm.
But most of, I want to say, not even the rich people that I know, but the wealthy people that I know
Mhm.
have the most like fulfillment, and they actually do so much more for other people, and they contribute. Like once that becomes like a center piece of your life,
Mhm.
it's really so much more fulfilling. I mean, we did the presents for the first year this year. Like we
Mhm.
gave presents out to, I'm not sure what it was, like it's a charity. We did, like,
Yeah,
a
so
charity thing?
it was an organization where you can adopt families. You know, you can adopt as many kids as you want. And yeah, you just they have a little wish list. You buy them gifts for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I want to say, a metaphor, right? For anything, like what you give out, you will get double in return if it's in good faith.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
So I would say most people, when they're doing goals, contribution is nowhere in there. They're always about
Mm-mm.
money, what I can pay off, what I can buy, things like
Mhm.
that. But I'm telling you, it is a big part, and it's really nice. You get a sense of fulfillment. So
Yeah.
contribution is, I like the questions, and these are really about the questions and really kind of what they mean to you to like ask the question and like sit there and think about them.
Mm.
And these are just like general categories within them. But this one is going to be, what does life want from me? Wow, I can't read. What does life want from me in my career, my values, my family, and my overall life vision? Which is, I mean, those are cool. Those are
Yeah.
good. So, but that's kind of how we did our goals,
Yeah.
and how we're probably going to do our goals this year.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think like doing goals previously compared to this way?
Well, I feel like kind of like what you said in like the beginning, it was mainly just like the one financial goal that I wanted, but then I was letting everything else about my life or about myself kind of like fall by the wayside. So like with this, at least I was looking at all aspects of my life and like what I can do for myself rather than just like beating myself up over trying to get the one goal accomplished and
Mhm.
like feeling gross because I was letting, like my body, fall to the wayside. Like I wasn't taking care of myself, wasn't eating like the right foods. So I feel like at least with this, like breaking it down into different categories, you're able to see maybe what changes you do need to make in your life, but also just reminding yourself how important everything else is. Like you might have that one big goal, but that doesn't stop everything else in your life. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
keeps going.
I think that's a super good point that I didn't think about. Most people don't know or don't see where they have deficits in their life until they put them out like this, and then they're like, wow, I didn't realize like I was neglecting my girlfriend or my kids, or I was neglecting my health or anything. Like maybe you had high standards and values for yourself and you let them slip and fall, and you're willing to do, things that you wouldn't have done in the past, or just so many different things. That's why I think it's such a great like tool. And this is actually from a book that I have up here called The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. It's by, let me see if I can grab it. This is where I got it. Ja-ja. I'm not sure if this is in focus. Hopefully.
If not, then with your IT skills, you just pop it up on
There
the
you
screen.
go. Maybe. Yeah, the book is called The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, and it's by the founder of Mind Valley, Vishen. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher
Go
this
ahead.
name.
Do it.
Butcher it so bad. I'm so sorry. It's Vishen Lakiani.
Wrong.
I hope so. But yeah, that is a really good point that you might see areas where you can definitely improve on. And I think it's a great way. And I think
Yeah.
how we did it last year was super cool.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It's fun.
It is. And I think it's like it's cool too to have somebody to share it with. So like having somebody that with, not similar goals, but like also wants to work on themselves too. Like making sure that the people that are in your life are ones that are going to be a positive impact on the goals that you're trying to achieve. So like, if it also makes you reevaluate like friendships and other relationships that might be in your life that maybe are not beneficial.
Mhm.
That could be, I guess, in your job too. Like if your job is not being, it is, is holding you back, it makes you maybe have to reevaluate.
Nice. Well, hopefully this year will be cool when we set our goals,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a great 2023.
Yes.
And everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's all.
This is great.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Unfortunately, you're my girlfriend. I have you over a lot.
Thank you.
Well, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
See everybody next time.
Hit the button. Wherever it's at.
It's going to be in none of those places.
Yeah. Good night, San Diego.